Hello students, today we will be learning from the very same chapter, that is Unit 1, Storybook, but today we will be discussing the remaining subtopics from the very same chapter. So let us have a look at the contents. We will be learning firstly about the focus on character and setting, and secondly about the grammar section, under which we have verb tenses, synonyms and antonyms, narrative and dialogue, and lastly we have the punctuation. So let's get started with the class. What or who is this character? Characters are creatures, animals, or people that are used in a story. Characters can or must feel, think, or act. Characters are important element in short stories because this character complete the story. These characters are involved in the story and create different types of problem and tension, as well as different types of solution to these problems. Now, for a clearer understanding, let's watch a short video about characters.
What is a character? By Teaching Without Frills. Story elements are the different parts of a fiction story. Characters are one of the most important story elements. Can you figure out the definition of a character from the following examples? A police officer can be a character. A dog might be a character. A robot can even be a character. So, what do you think the definition of character is? Pause here to think, or keep watching to find out. Characters are the people, animals, or creatures in a story. Characters can think, feel, or act. For example, a story might be about a boy and his teddy bear. Of course, the boy is a character because he's a person. If the teddy bear is just a regular toy, then it wouldn't be a character. But if the teddy bear can think, feel, move, or maybe even talk, then it would be a character in the story. Let's see what you've learned so far by playing character or not. A nurse, character or not? Yes, a nurse is a person and people are characters. A house, character or not? No, a house is not a person, animal, or creature, so it's not a character. A cat, character or not? Yes, a cat is an animal, and animals are characters. A banana, character or not? No, a banana is not a character unless it can think, feel, or act in the story. A dragon, character or not? Yes, a dragon is a creature, and creatures are characters. So remember, characters are the people, animals, or creatures in a story who can think, feel, or act.
Moving on to another new topic, that is settings. Now what is this settings? Settings basically talks about the where and when of the story. It is the time and place of a story. It often answers the question when and where. The time for a setting could either be about the past, future, daytime, night, summer, or winter. The place for a setting could be anywhere, for example, a school, playground, park, forest, or even a village. Whatever location it may be, that we can also understand as the setting. Now, let's take the help of video to have a more better and clearer understanding.
What is a setting? By Teaching Without Frills. Story elements are the different parts of a fiction story. The setting is an important story element. Can you figure out the definition of setting from the following examples? The setting might be a hot, sunny day at the beach during the summertime. Or it could be a cold, rainy night at a haunted house in October. So what do you think the definition of setting is? Pause here to think, or keep watching to find out. Setting is the time and place of a story. It often answers the questions when and where. The time of a story may be in the past or in the future, in the daytime or at night, in the summer or winter. A story may take place in a school, in a jungle, in a big city, in the desert, or in a variety of other places. We can also use adjectives or describing words to tell about the setting, like if it's sunny, cold, bright, busy, or spooky. You can determine the setting of a story by looking at the illustrations and finding information in the text. Let's try it. I was walking in the park on a warm day. How would you describe this setting? The text tells you I'm in a park, it's warm, and it's daytime. The illustration shows flowers and birds and the sun. I think it might be spring. So we could describe the setting as a warm spring day in the park. So remember, setting is the time and place a story happens. What settings have you seen in stories before?
Now moving on to another new topic, that is the grammar section. So let us see what do we have in this. Firstly, we have the verb tenses. Verb tenses are different forms of the verb that shows when it takes place, whether it has already happened, is it happening now, or will it happen in the future. We have 3 different types of tenses, that is past tense, present tense, and future tense. Past tense is a verb tense which is used to express an action that has already taken place. For example, I watched movie yesterday. He bought a new bag last month. He went to school yesterday. Now, all these examples tell us that all of this action has already happened already, so that is something that has already happened in the past. Moving on to the other tense, that is the present tense. Present tense is a verb used to describe actions happening right now. For example, I work very hard. I always listen to music. The dog barks at the gateman. Now, all these examples tell us how this action has neither happened in the past or neither will it happen in the future, but it is talking about something that is happening right now, or maybe something that usually happens. The next tense is the future tense. The simple future tense indicates an action that will happen in the future. For example, I will go to school tomorrow. I will be traveling after 2 days. She will buy her dress later. All of these examples tells us how all of this action will be happening only later, or maybe even a day or after. Therefore, these are the tenses dealing with the future. Let us now learn about synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms are words with the same or similar meaning. For example, start, begin, quick, fast, sick, ill, large, big. With these examples, we can understand how both the words have the similar meaning. We can either use start or maybe even begin. It will all mean the same. Whereas antonyms are words with opposite meaning. For example, front, back, last, first, early, late, full, empty. Now we can see how this is totally different from synonyms. Here in antonyms, it means just the exact opposite. Now, what is narrative and dialogue? Narrator is someone who tells a story. So, we can understand narrative as when the story is being told or narrated by a narrator. Whereas, dialogue in a story means the words or conversation characters say to each other closed by speech marks. There the marks that we have are the open inverted commas and the closed inverted commas. An example of a dialogue. Don't make us join the library, Marty begged. It's too dangerous. Now you can see how the speech marks are used. Now that we understand as the dialogue, this is the conversation that was exchanged between the characters in a story. Last, we have punctuations. Punctuations are the marks such as full stop, comma, and brackets used in writing to separate sentences and to clarify meaning. For example, I like reading books, listening to music, and study English. Now here we see how the commas are used to segregate the different sentences and how the full stop is used at the end to show us that that is the end of the particular sentence. Likewise, punctuation are used to make more meaningful sentences and to write in a proper grammatical manner. With this, we come to an end for this chapter. I hope you have learned something new with this lesson. Thank you and stay safe.